Hello, I'm Doug DeWitt, Transfer Paper Product Manager here at Conde Systems, coming to you from our warehouse studio in beautiful Mobile, Alabama, to give you another video in our series on the Okidata white toner printers. And in this video, we want to give you a real-world scenario on how you can apply this technology in these new self-weeding papers to tackle a market segment that is growing in this industry. When it comes to the digital decoration industry, many screen printers out there are getting high demand for these type of memorial t-shirts. And in this video, we are going to demonstrate how using the Oki white toner printer and self-weeding paper can not only create a beautiful product for this type of industry, but can save you a tremendous amount of time and boost your image out there in the community. Because when it comes to these types of shirts, what we've got to understand is people are grieving. They want some type of memento for their loved ones. So what we want to do in this case is produce the highest quality garment that we possibly can. So I'm hoping in this video you'll get to see a live demonstration on exactly how this system is going to work to tackle these types of graphics. The first thing we're going to do is go over to our computer, take a real-world example graphic, manipulate it slightly for the white toner printer. We'll discuss cost and things of that nature as relating to the graphic. But once we have our graphic set up, we'll move to the printer, we'll create some sample output on our different variety of dark garment self-weeding transfer papers, and then once we have those samples printed, we're going to go to our heat press, we're going to actually do some live demonstrations on these blank shirts here so that you can see the slight differences between the output. And then once we finish that, we're going to summarize the points that we've learned in today's video. So let's go ahead and get started by moving to the computer to detail the graphic. Now that we're at the computer, let's discuss this graphic. I'm operating out of CorelDRAW X6 and using a graphic supplied by a Conde client. Now please understand we are using this graphic for demonstration purposes only, but it does provide a real-world example of the type of artwork that we deal with when we're discussing memorial shirts. What we've got to understand is these graphics are usually intense. They are usually 11 by 17 in size. They usually have both text and bitmap images incorporated into them. And sometimes, depending on the intricacy, you've got a lot of fine detail going on. But since we have this white toner printer, we can take advantage of this artwork by manipulating it slightly. So here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is take this text and I'm going to change the text from black to white. The reason I want to do this is because, one, it will allow me to produce this graphic onto any color t-shirt I want, and two, it is going to save me money. What we've got to understand about the Okidata white toner printer is it cannot produce a true black color because it does not have a black toner cartridge within the machine. It's going to use a process black, which is mixing cyan, magenta, and yellow in an attempt to create a true black color. However, by changing some of these outlines from black to white, now we're only using one process color and we're saving ourselves some money. Now to see what's going on here, I'm going to go to Edit and View and change my view to wireframe so that we can see the text in the graphic. I'll go ahead and make sure that everything is selected. And then I'm going to go to my Arrange and Group so I can group this graphic as one. The next thing I want to do is mirror or reverse my graphic. Understand that while the white toner driver does have the option to mirror or reverse your graphic, me personally, I like to do it in my software. Let's change our view back to normal. This is what the graphic will look like. So now that I have the graphic prepared, I'm going to go ahead and send it to my Okidata white toner printer, and I'm going to produce transfers on two types of paper, Nina Image Clip Laser Dark and our new Conde Low Temperature Laser Dark. So let me go ahead and produce a few prints and I'll meet you back at the heat press. Okay, now that we have our transfers printed, let's go ahead and apply the emulsion to these transfers. I'm going to use two papers for this demonstration. The first paper I'm going to use is the Nina Image Clip Laser Dark, where we have our imaging sheet and our transfer sheet. So let's go ahead and open up our heat press. Let's take our imaging sheet, place it in the center of the press. Let's take our transfer sheet that has the white-based emulsion. Let's lay that over our graphic, and let's press these two sheets together. When it comes to pressing Nina Image Clip Laser Dark, I want to press between 240 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Normally, on an 8.5 inch by 11 inch sheet, I would press these two sheets together for 20 seconds. But since this sheet is 11 by 17 and we have a lot of toner on there, I'm going to increase that time to 30 seconds. But when our timer goes off here, I'm just simply going to peel the two sheets apart while they're still warm. So we'll just count down here. Lift our heat press, peel the two sheets apart in a smooth, steady motion, and make sure that we have our white emulsion over our printed toner. That looks good there. So let me go ahead and reset the press for my second paper, which is the new Conde Low Temperature Laser Dark. Okay, now that we're back at the heat press, I've got the press recalibrated for our second paper, which is the Conde Low Temp Laser Dark. Remember, the transparency sheet is the imaging sheet. We'll go ahead and lay that down on our press, take our transfer sheet, which has the white-based emulsion, and again, lay our transfer sheet over our imaging sheet, bring our heat press over, and I'm going to press these two sheets together between 315 to 330 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if this were an 8.5 inch by 11 inch sheet, I would press these two sheets for 90 seconds. But since this is 11 by 17, and again, we have a lot of toner on the sheet, I'm going to go 2 minutes when fusing these two papers together. So let's let the timer count down and check back with me, and we'll lift the press and show you the finished result. We'll lift the press, and again, peel the two sheets apart while they're still warm. In a smooth, steady motion. Fantastic. That looks like another successful weed attempt. So now that we have our two transfers ready to go, let me grab some blank t-shirts and demonstrate how we're going to apply these transfers to the garment. The first paper I'm going to apply is the new Conde Low Temp Laser Dark. You may notice I have trimmed the edges of this material slightly to remove the white indentation line that's sometimes caused by the transfer sheet. But let's go ahead and get the t-shirt ready to go. I'm going to take my sticky lint roller and lint roll the area that is going to be under the press. Because remember, if there are any contaminants that are on the shirt when we bring the press down, they will become a permanent part of the shirt. Okay, so now we have the lint roll step done. We're going to swing the press over and do a quick pre-press of our shirt. I'm not going to lock the platen in. I'm just looking for any steam that might be escaping from the shirt. If we see steam, leave the platen down till the steam subsides. But if there's no steam, go ahead and lift your press. Now we've got a nice clean area to work with. I'll take my transfer, go ahead and place the design where I want it to appear. The nice thing about the Low Temp Laser Dark is because we are using a transparency sheet, it does make the sheet very easy to align. So now we'll swing the press over, and we'll press the design to the garment using the same temperature, that 315 to 330 degree range, but it only takes 30 seconds to apply the design to the shirt. Now understand, if this was a cotton poly blend or a 100% polyester, we would be dropping the temperature down to about 285 degrees Fahrenheit. But for 100% cotton, we want to go between 315 to 330 Fahrenheit. Once our timer goes, we'll lift the press, and we want to let this transfer completely cool before we remove the film sheet. So while we're letting this cool, let me reset the heat press so we can apply our second paper, which is the Nina Image Clip Laser Dark. I have my press recalibrated for the Nina Image Clip Laser Light. Had to bump the temperature up to 375 degrees. Now before I apply this transfer, you may notice, again, I trimmed the edges of the paper just to make sure if an indentation line caused by the transfer sheet was stuck to the imaging sheet, that we trim that away so we don't have that faint outline around our design. But again, let's go ahead and set up our t-shirt. Remember, sticky lint roller. I'm a big advocate of sticky lint rollers. We want to make sure we remove all the contaminants from our shirt. Once we have our area lint rolled, again, let's do a pre-press by dropping the platen down and looking for any escaping steam that might be coming out of the shirt. As long as we see no steam, we're good to go. Again, got a nice smooth area to work with. Take my image clip laser dark design, place it where I want it to appear, swing our press over, lock it into position, and we're pressing this paper, the Neenah Image Clip Laser Dark, at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds. Once the timer goes off, we're going to lift the press, we're going to remove the shirt with the backing sheet still attached, because remember, both this paper and our new Conde Low Temperature Laser Dark are cold peel papers. So we want to make sure that backing sheet completely cools before we remove it from the shirt or garment. But now that my timer is about to go off, we're going to go ahead and let this transfer cool, and then we're going to show you the peel results from both transfers. So now that we're back at the press, let's go ahead and peel away the film sheet from our first transfer, which was the Conde Low Temp Laser Dark. Like so. Now what the camera may not be able to pick up is this paper is going to give you a very shiny, glossy finish to the transfer. If you do not want this gloss, then simply cover your exposed design with a silicone sheet, swing your press over, press your exposed design with the silicone sheet for about 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, you can lift your press, remove the silicone sheet, and your image is ready to go. Like so. So now let's go ahead and get the shirt done with the Neenah Image Clip Laser Dark and see how that one turns out. Very consistent, just like Neenah Image Clip Laser Dark always delivers. Now the difference between this finish and the finish done with the Conde Low Temp Laser Dark is this is going to give you a matte finish. However, you could still cover that exposed transfer with a silicone sheet and repress for 10 seconds. What this will do is it will also help drive that emulsion down into the fabric of the shirt, and it's going to add to the durability of the garment in the washer and dryer. So again, a 10-second post-press with the silicone sheet. Remove the silicone sheet. Give the shirt a little tug from side to side to add a little softness. And again, we have our finished t-shirt. Now that we have our beautiful memorial shirts produced, let's cover some points you need to understand about using this process with the Oki white toner printer and the self-weeding transfer paper. If there is a disadvantage to using this process, most people would probably say it's the cost involved of producing this type of transfer. What we've got to understand is a dark garment self-weeding transfer in an 11 by 17 size is going to run anywhere from $4.50 to $5. So by the time we add the toner from our white toner printer using a worst case scenario basis of full coverage, we can anticipate anywhere from about $5.50 to $6 in this finished design. That may sound a little expensive, but let's cover the advantages that using this system can give you. And that is being able to do full bleed 11 by 17, being able to have both graphic and bitmap in the same design, being able to self-weed that design in one easy step, and not to mention we can apply these designs to any color t-shirt and any material content t-shirt. And we believe that this process is going to produce a very superior product to the methods that are out there at the moment to produce these types of garments. It's something you got to consider when you are marketing to this clientele. You may spend a little extra money doing the shirt this way, but you are going to produce a very superior garment, and it is going to bring you in a lot of residual business. In other words, this is something you want to do right, so make sure you do it. And I'm glad you were able to tune in to see how to do it here on Conde TV. Remember, if you have any questions regarding the procedures that we covered in this video, don't hesitate to contact us direct at 1-800-826-6332. And you can reach me direct at extension 204. And I hope you keep tuning in to more videos regarding the white toner printer here on Conde TV. Until then, I'm Doug DeWitt, Transfer Paper Product Manager here at Conde Systems. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.